Hey, what's going on guys? So we'll be taking a look at a bunch of different items. This is actually all one thing that you can order on Amazon. It's a kit sort of, and it is from a company called XCSOURCE, I believe, and it is a 6-in-1 super phone camera kit. And currently it's at $16 on Amazon, so I really don't know if that's the permanent price. It is normally $40, and that's what I've seen it as, but it is $16 currently, and if you can get it for that price, I think it is ridiculous, because that is really cheap, because these lenses that are included are like very similar to something called Holo Clip, and those are like $40. This monopod would be like 20 something. This would be like 10. This would be 10. A little tripod adapter thing would be like 10, and then cleaning cloth would be like $2. So as you can see, it adds up to much more than $16, and it is worth about 40, I would say, but if you can get it for 16, that's just really good, and I highly recommend you go ahead and get this, because I've been using it for a while and it is definitely very good for $16. So anyway, we'll go ahead and actually get into the review. You can see everything that is included with this kit. Here we have a little carrying case for our lenses, as well as this if you would like, and whatnot. You can carry this one in there, whatever you would like to carry in here, whatever. It's ideal for the lenses because they're easily scratched and all of that. Other than our two lenses here, we have a nice little cleaning cloth, you know, just for cleaning the lenses, your phone, whatever you'd like to clean with a little cleaning cloth. We have a little remote Bluetooth shutter for your camera. This does not work with Snapchat or anything because it just uses the iPhone's volume up. So if you are using this in anything other than the stock camera app or the app that they sell, then this will not work, unfortunately. However, on Android it works in Snapchat and things like that. We also have a little tripod that is included, which is kind of cheap, but it's still better than no tripod. It's nice if you have a smaller phone, then it supports it pretty well. And then we have a little tripod adapter here. We have this little clip thing, which is used for mounting these to your phone and whatnot. And then we have a nice little selfie stick or monopod, whatever you would like to call it. These are becoming pretty popular now, and so it's kind of cool to see one here. I've gotten quite a few of these, and I don't know, they're just kind of fun to use if you like looking funny in public. So we'll start out with the little tripod here. I'll move everything else to the side, except the little tripod. So this, of course, is just the tripod here. It extends like this, and it extends one more here. So if you like to make it a little bit bigger, then you can. And as you can see, just shaking that, it's a little cheap. However, you can twist this and tighten it, and then you can adjust the little ball head by untwisting this. And then you can adjust its ball a little bit. It doesn't adjust a ton, but you can do a tiny bit, and then you can just simply tighten this piece, and then it locks the ball head down. It's not too high quality, however, it's not bad, I suppose, if you actually go ahead and line it up, but it really isn't that great. As you can see, if you kind of push on it, it definitely gives quite a bit. However, it is very small, portable, and pretty simple to set up and use. It is, of course, ideal to use with this little adapter here that is also included. So if you would like to use that, then you just twist this piece on here, and I'll review this adapter separately. So anyway, you would just twist this piece onto here, and then it would hold your phone, and you can adjust the angles that you use the tripod at and everything. And it is not really ideal for anything other than a phone, just because of how not sturdy it is. But if you would like to use it with a phone, then it will work pretty well. These things don't really lock or anything. You just kind of have to, I mean, I guess they do lock a little bit, but they don't lock terribly well. So I wouldn't put this on anything too high, because it could fall over and your phone could break and whatnot, but it's still kind of cool to see a little tripod included here. Next, we just get a little cleaning cloth. It is, actually I haven't used it yet, so I'll go ahead and feel it right now. This is something that I just, assumed it would just be a regular microfiber cleaning cloth. It doesn't feel like you would clean your screen too well, actually. I mean, it'd remove dust and stuff, but it doesn't feel, it feels more like plasticky than anything, which is kind of weird. But anyway, it just, you know, cleans your phone as any other microfiber cleaning cloth does. So kind of cool to see one of those included, especially for cleaning the lenses and stuff that are also included with this kit. Next, we have the little monopod here. It does have an included wrist strap that you can just, you know, put around your wrist if you want to carry it around. And it extends pretty far. I don't know exactly how far it extends. I want to say like 3 feet maybe, around there. So it extends about 3 feet, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, but right around 3 feet, so you can expect that. And there's a nice little rubber hand grip for holding it, even if your hand's sweaty, it's raining, whatnot, you can hold this pretty well, and it's pretty comfortable to use. And on the bottom we actually have threading for a tripod, so if for some reason you want to extend the height of a tripod, you can just screw this onto the bottom and it will do that for you. The top up here, we can unscrew this piece here to adjust the angle at which this piece sits, which is pretty nice. This is a pretty high quality selfie stick actually, so you can go ahead and twist this and adjust the angle at which this part sits, and then if you are not wanting to twist something on top of here, you can just twist this little thing and then it will twist the threading, which will make screwing things in really easy, which is nice. If you are wanting to use this with a small camera, you can, however you'd have to set it to a timer or something, or you can have a remote for your camera, but if you are using this how I think most people will, then you will use this little adapter here. And this little adapter, you can of course go like this, and then you use this piece here to screw it in, so you don't even need to just twist the adapter, you just twist this little piece on here, and then it will go ahead and screw it in for you, which is very nice. And once this piece is all screwed in, then yeah, there you go, like that. And then you can extend this piece here. It extends pretty far, so even if you have a bigger phone, then you can go ahead and put it in. And then you just go ahead and put your phone in like this. And then it will secure your phone decently well. It's not bad actually. I mean, it secures it pretty well, but this piece here is a little sketchy, so if you kind of pull your phone out at all, it won't do too well for you. However, if you hold it like this, I trust my phone in this, and then you can just, you know, adjust the angle of it. So if you have it like this, and then you can screw this in a little more, and then you are ready to take selfies. Unfortunately, this doesn't have a built-in Bluetooth shutter or anything, so that's where the Bluetooth shutter comes in. You can of course use this little thing either with this monopod or with the tripod, so if you kind of have this and put it behind your back and click it, then it will activate the camera shutter on here. Like I said, on Android phones, it actually takes a picture, and it will work in multiple apps, especially things like Snapchat and things like that. It'll work pretty well. However, it only works in the iPhone 6's stock camera app, so if you are wanting to use it with anything else, you won't really be able to. So you can just kind of go like this and set it all up, and then you would just use this little thing and click a button to actually set it up here. We go ahead and turn on this little piece here, so you just turn this on, and it is flashing like this, and then you will need to go into Bluetooth. As you can see down here, it'll say AB Shutter 3, and you simply click on it, and then it will go ahead and connect to this little device here. One thing worth mentioning is that I don't know why this ringer thing won't disappear, so hopefully that's not too annoying, but one thing that's worth mentioning is that there's actually no way to disconnect using this device, so you can't like press something to reconnect to a different device or something. I mean, maybe if you take the battery out, I haven't actually tried that, but I just recommend disconnecting from the device that you have it currently connected to, then you can connect it. I'm really not sure why this ringer is disappearing. Let's try this. Alright, there we go. So the ringer disappeared. So anyway, if you are using this as a selfie pull, you can go like this, of course, open up your camera app, then you see me, hi me, and then you will go ahead and push the little button on here, and then if you go like that, it should go ahead and take a picture, as you can see. So you just push it. I don't know why it doesn't work up here. There we go. So it doesn't work all the time, like if you just push it. Alright, maybe now it's working. So just took a ton of pictures of myself. It's kind of ridiculous, but anyway, you have the little button up here. This is for the iOS camera, and if you are wanting to take pictures on Android, you would use the Android button. It's a very similar process when setting it up and everything. It's exactly the same as it would be on iPhone. You just go in your phone's Bluetooth settings after this device is on and connect to this device. You can of course use this little shutter with the tripod as well. If you want to set up the tripod somewhere, which I'm not sure I recommend because of how flimsy it is, but if you want to set it up somewhere, you can go back and get a group photo or something using this little shutter. So it's not only for the selfie pole obviously, but that is kind of the ideal thing you would use it for because it doesn't have a built-in one here. The final things that we have in this little kit are 2 lenses for the back of our camera. So if you are wanting to take better pictures with your phone, it is kind of a photography kit, so then it is nice to include little lenses here. So in order to use one of these lenses, you would just take off the little black rubber housing. It's nice to keep the lens protected. You have the little piece here, as well as the soft cloth bag. But anyway, you would just screw this piece into the back of here, which just screws in pretty easily. And then you will use this as an example, and then so you can see what it would be like. So this lens here is actually the fisheye lens, so we'll see if it gives it a fisheye effect. You can have the camera out like this. As you can see, this is what it looks like, and then if we go ahead and put this thing over it, which we'll do, you can see the difference that it makes. So as you can see, this is without the fisheye. It just looks like this, a normal iPhone camera. And if you add the fisheye here, which you can do like that, we'll actually go ahead and line it up here. So all lined up, and this is what the fisheye effect looks like. So as you can see, it looks like this now. However, if you take the fisheye effect off, it just goes back to that. So you can see if it has a noticeable fisheye effect. I think it personally does, but it adds quite a bit of vignetting around the edges, which isn't too great. As you can see, there's quite a bit of black around here. Even if you actually go ahead and center it pretty well, there is still quite a bit of black around the edges. So that is one thing to keep in mind. However, it does look pretty good still, and you can get some cool effects and things like that. The next lens that we actually have here it looks like a macro. So this lens is actually two pieces. So this is macro, as you can see, it just is a very, very tiny little lens. And this piece is wide. So this is what the dollar bill looks like normally. And then if we go like this, oh, then it actually is a kind of macro effect. So then we can get really close, and then you're able to focus. That's actually really cool. So yeah, this is our macro lens here. I'm very impressed with this lens actually. You can see how well it works. Normally you would not be able to focus at this point, but you of course can, as you can see, and it looks really, really cool. So I personally love this lens a lot actually. It works really, really well, and that is pretty impressive, as you can see. And if you took this lens off, it would just be blurry and you would not be able to see anything unless you get about this far away, and then maybe it would focus. So about this far away it focuses, but if you have this lens on, of course, then you can focus much, much closer and get really, really cool shots like that. So this lens is actually two pieces, as you can see. We just tested the micro, and then you can screw this piece back on, and then you just twist it like this, and then it should be wide here. So we'll go ahead and see what this is like. You do need to kind of work with this, because this way unscrews them both from this actual plastic piece, but this way just screws back in this piece, so it's kind of hard to work with, and you want to do that, that's unscrewing it. So just find a happy medium with how they're screwed in. So anyway, this should be wide here. We have our camera app running, and you would put this piece on, and then you get a sort of wide angle here. So we can take a video here. So this is your supposedly wide angle, and if you take this off, and it zooms in a little bit, so it is wide angle, but it's not really, really intense or anything like that. Unfortunately, you cannot just use the wide angle lens alone, so you will have to use it with this. So that looks like it's going to be the widest angle that we actually get there. So you can see it's kind of wide, but not anything super impressive. So thank you guys very much for watching this review of the XCSOURCE 6-in-1 Superphone Camera Kit. It comes with all of these things that are pictured here, and if you can get it for $16, it is absolutely worth it. Even if you can get it for $40, I think it's a little pushing it, but I still think it's a pretty good deal. All these things are pretty quality except the tripod here. The wide angle lens doesn't do a ton, but it's still pretty cool. The fisheye works pretty well, and the macro works really, really, really well. So it was really nice to see a macro lens on a phone, especially considering these lenses sell for about $50 a piece otherwise. So definitely think this is worth keeping in mind if you're looking for any of these things, because you can get them all in a kit for a pretty good price. So if you enjoyed this video in particular, then a like rating is always appreciated. If you feel like I missed something or I should do something better, if you have questions, comments, all of that, then leave a comment below. If you could dislike the video and tell me why, then that would be nice. Rather than just disliking the video, I always like to make improvements to my videos, so please tell me why rather than just disliking the video. If you guys like to see more videos similar to this one, then you can of course check out my channel and subscribe. I do giveaways and reviews similar to this one and all of that. This has been Jordan for Jolt Reviews. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next review.